What is going on, guys? Another episode of the Sports Brotherhood here. Got Greg with us today. We're going to be talking a little Vikings. Greg, what's going on?
Hey man, it's going good. How's it going with you?
Chilling, chilling. Minnesota Vikings 4-0 to start the season, which I was looking on Pro Football Reference, and this is the best start they've had since 2009, the Favre year. So
Yeah, yeah, man. It's been a long 7 years since Favre was there, number four, slinging around, and we all remember how that ended with New Orleans. But it's good to see the Vikes really get out there and just win some games, man. I couldn't ask for a better start 4-0. I mean, the
and
defense is one of the best in the league, giving up a little less than 13 points a game. Offense is coming along, so everything's looking up.
I'll give you credit too, because when AP had his actually it was when Teddy and AP had their injuries. I remember you posted some on Facebook, and I was like, dude, I was like, they're probably like season might be over. They're just getting crushed by injuries, and somehow still 4-0. Who was
Yeah,
who else did you guys have that has gotten hurt? Like big time starters. Still there? All
yo,
right, you there?
Richie, let's go.
All right, cool. Something's
Sorry,
always
sorry about that.
no, you're good. Some screwy always happens. Freaking technology.
Yeah, I know how it goes.
Um, so what were we saying? The injuries. Who are some of the guys you'd mentioned before that it's more than just heading AP, like some linemen and stuff like that. Who all's got
Yeah,
banged up?
yes, yeah. So I mean, the big names are we lost. I think around game two, we lost our left tackle and Matt Khalil. He's been starting for us for about 4 years, and then
Oh yeah.
our interior defensive tackle and Sharif Floyd, and he was starting to come
First round
peak
pick.
low. Yep. He was up with senior Cordarrelle Patterson got drafted the first year. But yeah, we were getting hammered with injuries. But I mean, we got our defense is just amazing, man. One falls, another guy rises up. Good coaching with Mike Zimmer at the helm. Just we keep going. It's just amazing. And then as far as the offensive line, it's always been we picked up. We signed Alex Boone and then Andre Smith from the
Boone.
Bengals, and
Boone was San Fran.
yep. And that's probably if I had to say one of our weakest spots is our offensive line. They play a little bit better in the New York Giants game, but that's probably our weakest spot right now. And going forward, we're hoping to see some improvement in that. Let Bradford get some more time back there, and just the defense, like I said, it's one of the best in the league. But I wouldn't put them on the same level as Denver yet. But I mean, they're probably definitely if top five, if not top three in the league. I mean, our turnover differential is plus 10. So I mean,
It's 10 through 4 weeks.
yeah, plus 10 through four
Jeez.
weeks, and so we're getting to the quarterback. We're forcing turnovers, and I just heard a stat earlier today. In a game, if you're plus one in the game, you have a 70% chance of winning. And then plus two, it rises like 80, and then eventually like plus four, it's like 100% of winning. So you get those turnovers, and the cliche goes, the offense doesn't turn the ball over, a good chance to win the game, and that's kind of what we're doing. Just the defense is doing its thing, special teams and the Bradford and the offense are just working their way through, not turn the ball over and I mean, he's looking good back there. I mean, he's only been there, 3 weeks.
No
And
picks. No turnover.
yeah, yeah, exactly. He has 4 touchdowns, no turnovers, almost 300 yards passing last game. So he has that chemistry with
Big.
Stefan Diggs. But even who I'm more impressed with is Kyle Rudolph. And he's always been a really good tight end,
So
but he's
underrated.
really yeah, he's had a touchdown in the last 3 games, and he's really blossoming with Bradford back there. I mean, they have a great connection too, and then with Diggs, and like I know you and I talked about Antonio Brown. Obviously, he's not that level, but he has that same ability and skill set as Antonio Brown. So
I
it'll be
mean,
interesting to see where they go.
Antonio Brown I don't want to say he came out of nowhere, but he essentially came out of nowhere and was just like, whoa, dude, who's this? Like, I want to say he was like a fifth or sixth round pick or something out of Central Michigan. And it's like, okay, like, whatever, this dude's all right. And it's like, no, man, this guy's totally legit.
they're the new breed of wide receivers, man. The whole Megatron 6'6" wide receiver. That's in today's game. That's not as relevant as having someone like who can do it all, like Antonio Brown and Stephon Diggs. I mean, it's nice to have height, but in today's game, it's that speed and that agility and that the multiple things you can do on the offensive end. I mean, you had even Le'Veon Bell. He was lining up as a wide receiver,
Yeah.
last game. So it's
Oh,
just, I
yeah.
mean, it's just
Good.
no, it's just today's game, circling back to the Vikings, we saw with the fact that AP got hurt, you can see our offense has opened up a lot more. You saw the Wildcat. You saw Cordarrelle Patterson or Jarek McCann taking direct snaps in the backfield with Cordarrelle Patterson back there as well. I mean, we're going 5 wide and trips on the left to right side, and it's just we're trying. The main thing is we're trying to get people to respect our pass game. And North Turner's really opened up the playbook with the injury to AP, and we're just taking it one game at a time. And you can see the offense, how it's improved. So, I mean, right now we're averaging 22 points a game, which is about 16th in the league. But, I mean, as far as total yards per game, we're at 290, which is 31st. And then passing, that we average about 226, which is 24th. And then we're last in league in rushing, that's 64. But you have to remember our first 2 games, we had AP get 9 men in the box, averaging 2 yards a carry. Sean Hill at the helm, and so I mean, there's a lot of different factors that go into that ranking. But you can see last game how
It's a new
improved
line,
it's been.
so I mean they got to gel. Still there?
We beat Aaron Rodgers, we've beaten Cam Newton, and we've beaten Eli Manning, and that's no
That's
that's a really good feat to have.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
impressive.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
you
so
said you were like near the bottom in total yards, about middle of the pack as far as scoring. Obviously, the defense, you said that was at, obviously that's elite. But I want to go back to something you said earlier with the plus 10 turnover differential. So they're 4-0. They have a plus 10 turnover differential. We are a quarter of the way through the season. That would put them on pace for plus 40. I don't know what the record is, but I doubt that it is plus 40. Do you think that is – obviously you're not going to sustain and go 16 and – well, you probably not go 16-0. But
no.
what do you foresee that kind of going on down the road? Is that something they can keep up?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it all really starts with that. If you're talking about turnovers, is that defensive line getting that pressure on the quarterback and forcing the throw or giving the sack,
Especially at home.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, as far as the results of the win-loss record, even if what's great is we're 4-0, and the cliche goes is you take the season in quarters. So your first 4 games, your second 4, etc. And the goal is for half of those games to go, you want to go 500, but on 2 of those quarters, you want to win more, go 3-1. That puts you at 10-6. That's in the playoffs. So theoretically speaking, if we finished 500 the rest of the season, we'd finish 10-6, and that's most likely, depending who we lose to, the NFC North champ and possibly a first round bye, probably not, but a playoff team for sure. So, but I don't see us going 500 the rest of the season. I mean, I see us being a lot better, especially with our defense keep playing the way it is, barring any injuries. I mean, at this rate, it's kind of like I don't want to jinx ourselves, but I mean, but we have good coaches, and they coach them up over there or up there in Mankato in Minnesota. So
look at you dropping the exact, not Minneapolis, Mankato. Like that's specific. I like it.
Yeah. That's where this training facility is, with the spring preseason, spring training, and everything like that. So
I'm looking at their schedule right now, and so they got Texans
this week,
at Eagles, at Bears, Lions at home. That's the next 4. So you figure realistically you'll probably go 3-1. So that'd put you 7-1. Redskins, Cardinals, Lions, Cowboys. I'd say maybe another 3-1, 2-2.
The NFC East.
Yeah, seriously. And then Jags, Colts, Packers, Bears. I think Packers will get you at home, but I mean, dude, I mean, they legitimately could be the NFC favorite. I mean, obviously, we
We
all know what Green Bay's capable of. They can, they have Rodgers, they can get hot and all that. But I mean, you proved, what was it, 2 weeks ago or last week? 2 weeks
we
ago.
we've with Mike Zimmer specifically, not before Mike Zimmer, but he has had Aaron Rodgers numbers, and if you go back and look at Aaron Rodgers' stats against the Vikings with Mike Zimmer at the helm, they are way under his career averages.
Nice.
So
Well,
they have his number.
so maybe not Green Bay. That is a good point. I mean, there's really, and Green Bay's not even dominant. It's just we have this thought of the Packers as being like the
It's Aaron
2011
Rodgers.
Packers, and they haven't looked
Yeah.
that way for like 2.5, 3 years. So I mean, I don't know. I guess I just give them the benefit of the doubt. But
I hope they lose every game.
oh yeah, oh yeah. That's how I am with New York, Philly, and Washington. Heard that.
Yeah, we especially. I mean, the Vikings. If you think about it, we're if not the favorite for the NFC right now. We're pretty close up there.
I would agree.
I don't Philly. They're undefeated, but I don't expect them to
Not sold on
keep
them.
that pace up. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm not sold on them.
yeah, with
But man,
Carson
I
Wentz there,
mean,
but
that's like legitimate. I mean, obviously the season's young, but I mean, there's only a handful of really elite teams, and even with the injuries, obviously we touched on the 4-0, but I mean, even projecting forward, that's something to where, I mean, legit NFC favorites with their starting quarterback, their starting running back, one of the best running backs of all time. They're bringing in a journeyman, Sam Bradford. Like, I mean, obviously
and
the defense is elite,
what
but it's crazy to think about.
what's good? See, it's what's crazy is I guess as far as the quarterback goes, I'm a big Teddy. I'm a Teddy fan, but I mean, statistically wise, I mean, you look at his passing stats last year, they weren't off the charts. So that production wasn't really a drop off with Bradford. With what it was with Teddy was he was such a he's a team guy. Like everybody liked him, and he had good chemistry with the guys, and he was supposed to have this breakout year. That's what they were expecting, but so then he got hurt, and so when at that time, we basically were you. I mean, no one plans, as you know. Your Tony Romo got hurt, but at least you had Dak. Yeah, I mean, you had Dak
Got
Prescott back
lucky.
there,
Got lucky.
and so so when that time came around, it's the week before the season starts, and we're on the market. Basically, we're looking for a backup quarterback or a
I
quarterback
thought the
who
season
is
was over.
I. Uh, I don't.
You
Yeah, I
kind of
was.
did for a second.
Yeah, I no, actually at that point I didn't think it was over just because I knew just production wise what Teddy had could be made up. Like someone could come in and throw up those same stats, and as long as they just manage the turnovers, don't turn the ball over, let AP, like this was at the time before AP got hurt. I was like, let AP do the work, and let Diggs and whatever. And then I already knew our defense was good. I didn't think it was gonna be this good. But our defense is good enough that they can maintain the leads that we get. It's going to be the score is going to be 14 nothing. It's not going to be 38 nothing. That high. I mean, we got 24 last game, but our offense isn't built to be that high motor. Tom Brady dropping 14 points in
So
4 minute kind of.
what if Bradford goes back to slinging picks like he did in Philly? Is that like would that
Well, then
realistically be the only thing that's going to kind of derail what they have going on?
I mean, if you take injuries out of the equation, yeah. I mean, if he starts slinging around, throwing two, 3 picks a game. You can't win like that. And so I'm really hoping that Norv calls the plays that allows him to not those chances to be there. Like obviously he's gonna throw interceptions. Every quarterback does. It's just a matter of how many you
Limiting.
throw and when you
Yeah.
throw
Yeah.
them.
Limit them. But I mean, you mentioned how they just signed Boone and Andre Smith. So I mean, that's what 2 out of 5,
Oh
40
yeah.
percent of your offensive line right there that's new. So I mean, I'm a fan of Jerick McKinnon. I think he can like legitimately do some things. I
Then
was talking on Twitter. This guy kind of compared him to Gio Bernard, and I get it. Like that's kind of the same thing. It's just if you can get some holes, you said they were dead last in rushing.
Currently, they're at 64.2 yards per game.
Oh,
But you got to remember though. I mean, if you take last game, we had close to 100 over 100 yards rushing. I believe. I can't remember exactly what it was. It might be like 98. But either way, AP was running. Carried the ball 20 times for 30 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like it's taking those rush yards into the equation. So I get that. So if you take those out, obviously it'd be a lot higher. But I mean,
yeah,
with
that's fair.
we have a two-headed monster. No, I don't want to say monster, but we have a two-headed attack.
You have a
I said we have
two-headed creature. It's not a
yeah,
monster yet.
we have a two-headed attack with the power of Matt Asiata and Jerick McKenna has some power too. Like he can put his head down, knock some guys, and get a couple more yards after contact. But
So
his speed and agility there, so we'll utilize that with the offense and again I kind of go back to is we got to get that rushing game open. You got to get people to respect your passing game.
yep.
So hopefully
McKinnon
that.
McKinnon's at 3.7 per attempt, and Asiata's only at 2.2. So yeah, once they can get that going, I mean,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
brought up Patterson earlier. I mean, dude, if they keep getting him going with the little short passes near the line of scrimmage and just let him go to work, I mean,
yeah. Norm's big on those wide receiver screens and bubble, and, those wide receiver screens and bubble screens and all those kind of things, and those getting those yards after contact. And so, um, and I was kind of pointing to you about talking to you earlier about Cordarrelle, but like before the season started, like the fan base from Minnesota was basically kind of like, okay, even the coaches are kind of like, this guy is kind of going. Even last year, he's falling to the back of the pack. Like he might not even
oh
be on
yeah,
the team next year. So all of a sudden, he's getting double-digit touches last game, and this is this is what was good. I'm gonna say what's good about the Adrian Peterson injury, but one of the positives that came out of it, like I said, the offenses opened up. We're really doing a lot more things and not getting the defense isn't loading up 8-9 in the box as much as they used to, and because we don't have AP. I mean, I understand he's in my eyes because I'm an AP homer and he's the best running back of all time in my eyes. But
fair.
I mean, we it might have been different if Bradford. I mean, I don't know if Bradford would have been the same way if AP was still in the backfield. I mean, we only had him for what, a quarter and two quarters, almost 3 quarters of them together before AP got hurt, and so I don't know, but I know we're 4. I do know that we're 4-0. So I
And you will take that every damn day.
yeah, and then the next question is, AP is supposed to be out coming back close to playoff time. So what do you do? I mean, it's
Oh
always
yeah,
I'm not sure how we're gonna. I mean, it depends how we look. Like I think in the end, you're not going. It's AP. You're not gonna.
yeah.
I mean, you could. I don't know. I'm glad I'm out of coach. But what
Oh
happens
no,
next?
I mean, worst case scenario, even if Jerick McKinnon starts rattling off like 9,500 yards a game, I mean, you still have him as a goal line back. I mean, Asiata, sorry, get back to the bench. I'm going to put 10, 15 carries. I mean,
Yeah, and then what happens now is I think, and I kind of talked about it a little bit, is AP has that option year next year, or the Vikings have.
bye bye.
Yeah. There's a good chance last time you've seen AP in the Vikings uniform because they have till March, I believe, to pick up that last year on his contract, if they do pick it up, the option, they're gonna be paying him $18 million for almost a 32-year-old running back with bum knees.
No way.
Eh, Yeah, unless he takes a contract and restructures a contract to stay, he's not gonna be in a Vikings uniform next year. And
So what if he pulls the like opposite of Favre and just goes to like Green Bay or something like that?
I've been
No, just
well,
be
I
the
know
ultimate just killer.
I know one place one place he wants to go if he was a free agent, and
I
you
was-
know exactly what place I'm talking about.
Yeah, but we got Zeke and now we don't need him. Like I wanted him so bad last year. Like, dude, DeMarco Murray was perfect in that offense, and then they're just like,
Now he
oh,
sucks.
AP wants to come down here, and I'm just like, do it. I don't care. Trade a second rounder, whatever. And then they got McFadden and Joseph Randall. Like that was just blah. But
Yeah.
now we don't have any room for him, which sucks because I
Well,
would love that.
here's a question for you. Then what about when when Tony Romo comes back? Are you in favor of starting him, depending on what your win-loss record is with Dak?
So I have flopped on this issue probably good 3 or 4 times. I started off like, dude, if he wins, you have to keep him. And then I was kind of like, well, I don't know, it's Tony Romo. And then he put up the game against, granted, it's Chicago. Looked really good there. And then he came back from down 0-14 against San Fran and played incredibly well. So I was like, yeah, keep Dak. But the more I think about it, he hasn't played any good teams, and I love Dak. Future of the franchise, love him. I'm all in. But at the same time, he hasn't played that many good teams. He hasn't played an elite quarterback on the other end where he has to keep up. And Dallas's defense is just awful. They're bad. So I mean, I gotta go Tony if he's healthy. But I will say this caveat: if Dak
If he's
Prescott
healthy.
beats Bengals and Green Bay, and then it's their bye week. So if they're going into the bye at 5-1. So if they go into the bye
Yep.
at 5-1, I mean, you strongly have to consider it. But if Romo's 100%, he's been on that offense for 10 years now. I mean, he knows it like the backside of his hand. He throws a better deep ball than Dak. He's got
I'm
the
not
chemistry. Says, do it.
I'm not a
Go.
Cowboys fan, but I'm gonna say that Tony Romo has been hugely underrated as a quarterback.
Oh yeah.
And I've argued with people all the time. I'm sitting there like he chokes and da. I'm like he has like one of the highest quarterback ratings in the fourth quarter and most comebacks. Like
So I saw a stat on him that he has hands down the most losses ever when he's completed more than like he'll complete more than like 65% of his passes, 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. And like there's been no other quarterback that's lost more than X amount. I can't remember what it is. And he's like clearly at the top. And then that game against Denver a couple years back, when he was the only quarterback to ever score more than 49 points in a game and lose. And it's just like, it's just that. And I
bad
hope
luck.
that doesn't
It's
end
just
up
bad luck, man.
in, but it's just those little things that just it because casual observers, they're just like, yeah, whatever, he sucks. And it's like, man, he doesn't, but at the same time, he still has maybe a chance this year or next. I mean, it's a long shot, but whatever. I can dream.
Right, yeah, he was he 39,
No,
38?
he's not that old. He's 36, though. Pretty damn close.
Oh, it's okay. I know he's kind of getting up there, but I mean, he's Mr. Fragile. I mean, he took a weak hit to the back in the preseason, and boom.
Thankfully, we have Dak. We got so lucky with that, but
Yeah.
because you guys
Oh yeah.
give Philly a first rounder for
Yeah,
Bradford.
we gave Philly a first rounder and a conditional fourth rounder, which is gonna probably jump up to I believe it's third if you make the playoffs and like
Okay.
second if you. But see, this is the thing, and so when we traded, I was on a Vikings forum, and people are like trying to like, oh, get this guy and then get that guy, get that guy. I'm like, okay, one, you have to realize what situation we're in. We're in a crazy situation. We need a quarterback. Teams know that, and they're going to take advantage of it.
Oh,
We're not gonna get Tom Brady. Like we're in the market for a backup QB or a QB like Sam Bradford, who he was knocking people's socks off with his stats, but he has experience,
oh,
and he was gonna get out of Philly. So to me personally, the first and the fourth, I don't care. Like I was like, I'm in football and in any sports, you got to win now,
oh yeah. And
and
I mean, you said it. Everybody knew that they were in the situation that they were. So being taken
no.
advantage of was inevitable.
And what a lot of people don't understand either is we have, I can't remember, like maybe eight draft picks between our second and third round. So
Oh,
if
whoa, what?
I think it's something crazy like that.
I
And
mean,
so
still, anything more than like 5, 4, anything more
maybe,
than like 3 or 4 is a ton.
maybe it's like, I know, maybe it's six. I know that we have enough where if we wanted to, we could trade some draft picks to jump back into the first round if we
Well,
wanted to.
the second and third, you have anywhere from like 6 or 8 or whatever between the
Yeah,
second and third.
yeah,
Damn.
I'm not definitely check that one. I know it's up there. I know it's up.
Still,
It might
that's
be
legit.
six. Yeah, and then so we can put a couple of draft picks together and get back into the first round. But as anybody knows, the first round draft picks, the meat of your team and the talent of your
Oh yeah.
team is going to be in the middle of the draft. And so I didn't really care that we gave up a first and fourth rounder just because I knew that winning in football, especially football, the window is small. unless
Yeah.
you're like unless you're Tom Brady or Peyton Manning.
You have Belichick. Those two
Yeah.
together.
I mean, they're outliers, but that window is look at Arizona. They're 1-3, and so
Carolina.
yeah, exactly. Carolina. I mean, they'll probably turn it around, but I'm just about that window is short, and you have to win now. And so, if you give me a Super Bowl, you can have all my first round draft picks. I'll suck for 10
Well,
years.
yeah, you're a Vikings fan. You're damn right you want a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, and that's why like I knew our defense was good, and I knew we had AP at the time, and I had Stephon Diggs. I knew it was. And speaking of Stephon Diggs, I didn't even know he played at Indiana. Like I knew, like I figured that out loud, like a couple of
I didn't
weeks
know that
ago.
either. I just knew from Maryland.
I'm sorry, Maryland. I'm
Oh,
sorry, not.
really? He killed
Yeah,
Iowa.
yeah. I know. I'm trying. I had to go back and look at tape or YouTube. I'm like, that's the guy. Like
No,
it
you
was
can
crazy.
call it tape. That was good. I like it. I had to go back and watch the tape on him.
Yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember him. He
Yeah,
killed us.
he was a beast. So what do you
Yeah,
think for the rest of the year? What's your projection that you haven't finished in, and how far are they going?
I'm gonna say 12-4, 13-3 at the best, and
Think they're
then
gonna get 12-4 like home field?
yeah,
You put them with home field with. I mean, granted, it's not the Metrodome, but still, Minnesota fans get loud. You give them home field,
well
and they
we
have a legitimate
the
shot.
US Bank Stadium. I was just reading that the way it was built, like on the first game they had the opening game. They're talking about that setting the record, trying to beat the record for the Seattle Seahawks setting the stadium record. That just the way
Oh
it's
yeah.
built, it really holds that noise and sound in there, and so it's gonna get loud. And like
See, and that's
and
how to
the
do it. Not the Jerry Jones way. It's where it's about an entertainment thing. Like, no, man, design your stadium to have optimal crowd noise and give you an advantage to
yeah,
win. Like, that's home field
yep,
advantage.
yeah, you get that crowd noise, and I guarantee if it's a home game at Minnesota, um, they're gonna have that little decibel whatever noise thing, digital, talking about seeing how loud it gets. I guarantee that'll be on there.
So you said 12-4, 13-3. How far are they getting?
Well, to me,
Early. It's early. I know you can change your mind, but right now, what do
no,
you
well, I'm not. Well, I'm saying the Super Bowl, man. It's my
champs?
team. Say that again.
Champs? Like they're winning it all.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Want them to. I mean, obviously, like I want Dallas to win it, but I don't think they're gonna win it this year.
Well, then here's another thing we didn't talk about was our kicking, and Blair Walsh,
I have him in
who is
fantasy, and he needs to like start making more.
yeah, he is not too loved by the. It's about split. It's a split with Blair Walsh right now, just because he's missing PATs last game, and he's been hot, hot or cold with his field goals. Like he
He
missed a
definitely
40.
together.
He missed like a 40-yarder in the New York Giants game and came back and hit like a 44-yarder. We could have kicked a 52 or 54-yarder, I think, in the Giants game, and we decided to punt instead just because they didn't trust the kicker,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's why we can't have that around playoff time. So, realistically speaking, well, obviously they're my team and I'm a homer, so I'm gonna say the Super Bowl. But I
I
mean,
like it.
it depends on who. I mean, who we're playing. If it's home field
Oh yeah,
advantage. If we're 13-3, we're gonna have home field advantage at least for the first round. I'm
and
not sure
it's
about.
it's all about matchups. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
all about who you play anyway. So I hear you, but I like it. You're saying Super Bowl. I'm gonna say you said 12-4, maybe 13-3. I'll say 11-5. I say they do win their division because I think legitimately, man, it's just crazy to think they have Bradford and they're doing this. But I'll say 11-5. They win their division, and I will say, oh, I can't go Super Bowl. I can't go, man.
can't go NFC Championship.
I will say they go to the NFC Championship game, but I'm gonna say whatever made up curse that there is, I'm gonna say it is still enacted, and I don't think they get to the Super Bowl.
So you have them 11-5. So that means you got 7-5 to finish the season. Yeah, that's not
Seven
that's
and
a little
five to
above
finish.
average.
Hold on, let me go through that again one more time. 5 losses. So say maybe at the Packers, I'll be a homer and say
I'll
Cowboys.
take Us.
Um.
There's gonna be a crazy game there somewhere. We'll lose.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They like something like the Bears, and it's like the Bears suck.
Well, I hope not. They just lost White. He just went to IR.
Yep, I saw that. Well, I'd say 11-5. You said that going in the beginning of the year, or Super Bowl. Obviously, you're going to take that, but 4-0, definitely got to take that every single day of the week. So, we're sitting right about 30 minutes. So that was good chatting, but we'll definitely catch up again and talk some more Vikings. So
Yeah, it sounds good, man. I could talk about the Vikes all day, man.
oh yeah, you know. All right, well, for everyone listening, watching, whatever you call it, appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe, and yep, we'll see you guys next time.